I used to buy a lot of expensive things very mindlessly, and many of these purchases were a complete waste of money. Luckily, I've been spending very intentionally for a number of years. Being in a better financial position means I have more life choices and I have more time to do what I really enjoy. That being said, I still buy things, but I think the key is to spend on the right things. For me, there are 8 things that are absolutely worth investing in. In fact, it doesn't matter who you are, where you are in life, and the kind of lifestyle you embrace. You should always prioritize these 8 things in your budget. First ones are comfortable shoes. Your shoes carry you through life. They affect your back, your mood, how long you can be on your feet, and how present you are in your day. This is why it's worth every single penny to spend a bit more on a pair of shoes that fit right, support your back, and last longer. Luckily, comfortable shoes don't always cost a fortune. For example, I've been wearing my Vans a lot, especially when I travel. Some people might think they are not cute enough for Instagram pictures, but for me, being comfortable on the road is way more important than anything. The second thing that's always worth investing in is skincare. It doesn't matter how old you are, we all appreciate having healthy skin. As someone who used to suffer from acne, I cannot stress how much our skin affects how we feel on a daily basis. Now, I don't always buy expensive luxury skincare, but if I come across something that works really well for me, I will happily spend the money because I like to see it as an investment for my skin because it really is. Every day, no matter how tired I feel, I never skip my skincare routine. I also wear my sunscreen religiously every single day because that is so important for anti-aging. This year, I've also been using this FAQ 202 LED face mask by Foreo, and let me tell you, this is a game changer. What I love about this face mask is that I can treat myself to a mini spa treatment even when I have a lot of chores to do. All I have to do is to put on the headband and I'm good to go. This, by the way, comes with 8 different light therapies, so you can enjoy a wide range of skincare benefits with just one face mask. For example, red light is perfect for anti-aging because it can boost collagen production. Meanwhile, green light is great for reducing hyperpigmentation, and blue light is incredible for reducing blemishes. I've been using this face mask for about 3 months, and there are 2 things that really stand out to me. First of all, the pores on my nose and my chin are so much clearer. Now, I tend to get a lot of blackheads on these areas, but since using this, I can see very noticeable difference. And secondly, because my pores are a lot clearer, I don't get as many breakouts. But when I do, I like to use the blue light therapy because it really helps to calm my skin, which means my blemishes go away a lot quicker. If you're also thinking to invest in your skin, make sure to check out the link in my description box and don't forget to use my code 35NOAH because it will give you a very generous 35% off for all Foreo pieces. The third thing everyone should invest in is a solid everyday wardrobe. When I talk about everyday pieces, I'm referring to those items that you reach for and put on yourself every day without even thinking. For me, this means a very cozy cashmere jumper in the winter and a cotton t-shirt in the summer. If you ever find yourself saying, I have nothing to wear, it is very possible that you've been buying the wrong things. What you need to do is to create a closet with pieces that fit you well and make you feel good. And I promise you, getting dressed will become so much easier and more enjoyable. Until you have a very solid everyday wardrobe, I recommend that you forget about those special occasion pieces. And please, don't try to entertain your fantasy self by buying pieces that don't actually serve your real life. Moving on to the fourth thing that's always worth the money, no matter who you are, and that is a hobby. This is something you do for yourself simply because it makes you happy. Now, if you told me this 10 years ago, I would say to you, who has time for a hobby? But you know what? Having a hobby has changed so many aspects of my life for the better. Ever since I took up digital illustration, I feel so much more energized, inspired, and creative. And most importantly, I feel happier as a person. Every day, I look forward to getting to my iPad and create something. And when I'm doing it, I can keep going for hours. This joy of creating is something that I cannot explain in words, but I'm just so glad that I gave myself the time and resources to explore different things, because otherwise, I wouldn't have come across this passion of mine. Regardless of who you are or what you do for a living, having a hobby is really one of the biggest investments you can have for yourself. In fact, I'll go as far as saying, if you ever feel like you hate your job or your life, that's probably because deep down you have this resentment that you haven't done anything for yourself. Think about it. At your job, you spend so much of your time doing what your boss expects of you, and at home, you try your best to take care of your family, but you always put yourself last. If you ever feel that way, I really encourage you to go out there and try out different activities until you find something you truly enjoy. When you feel fulfilled in yourself, everything in your life will become so much better. Take me for example. I used to think I hated my day job because it was stressful and demanding, and I couldn't wait to retire. But now that I'm taking better care of myself and I'm giving myself the time to indulge in my passion, I actually enjoy my day job way more than before. Sometimes I still cannot believe how things have turned around for me. Things number 5 that are absolutely worth investing in are books. I've met a lot of people who said they don't read or they don't have the time for it. If you're one of them, I just want you to know that for the longest time, I wouldn't read anything apart from academic books. I thought I was being really efficient with my time, but oh boy, I had no idea what I was missing out. In the last 8 years or so, I've been reading a lot, and it has really impacted my life in so many positive ways, whether it is personally, professionally, financially, or creatively. I think the love for reading is one of the best investments you can make for yourself. And it doesn't really matter what genre you're reading. The most important thing is to just get started. And I promise you, one thing will lead to another. For example, I started reading about minimalism at first, and that introduced me to personal finance. From there, I found books about investing, and then I came across cryptocurrency. And now I love fiction and picture books. Every step of the way, I learn something new and I try to apply it to my daily life. For example, if I hadn't come across books about investing, I most likely would still be working myself to the ground and spending like a shopaholic. So to say books are one of the best investments in my life is an understatement. The next thing that's worth investing in, no matter who you are, is traveling. Now, I know traveling can get quite expensive depending on where you go, but you don't always have to cross ocean to explore a new place. If you have a smaller budget, why not explore the country you live in? Maybe a new town or a new city. Being in a new place takes you out of your daily routine and it allows your mind to think differently. This is why a lot of people tend to get amazing new ideas when they are traveling. In fact, this happened to me about 3 years ago. I remember I was in the bookstore in Malaysia and I suddenly had this idea about a new endeavor. And as soon as I got back to the UK, I immediately started working on this new project. Some of you know I've been traveling to different countries in the last few years, and it has been worth every single penny. When you see different parts of the world and meet people from different cultures, heritage, and way of life, you will start to see the world with a different lens. For example, when we went to Maldives, I thought I was just going to have a very relaxing time and enjoy the beautiful landscape, but I actually learned so much from the trip. So when we were there, we spoke to a lot of the staffs. You see, when you stay in the same resort on an island for 2 weeks, you tend to see the same faces over and over again. Some of the staffs are the local Maldivian people, and I really appreciate that they took the time to explain to us how they live their life as a Maldivian, which is something you don't get to see on a resort holiday. Meanwhile, the other staffs are from different parts of the world. Now, they might come from different countries, but they are all there for the same reason, which is to make a living to support their family back home. And many of them only get to go home once a year. In fact, recently one of the staffs went home to the Philippines and she sent me a photo and said, "Look, Eileen, I'm finally home with my daughter." I remember looking at the picture and feeling really happy for her, but I also knew in a few weeks' time she had to leave home again, and that must be so hard. This really made me look at luxurious holiday differently. Of course, we go there to have a good time, right? But I always tell myself now, a lot of people are working really hard to make sure you have a good time. So I'm constantly reminding myself to be respectful and appreciative. And I tell my little boy the same. Last but certainly not least, a healthy diet is absolutely worth investing in. As a family, we don't eat out a lot and we don't really enjoy fast food. At home, we eat really simple, which usually comes in the form of rice, boiled vegetables, and some protein. I don't think a healthy diet has to be a really fancy one, but you just need to make sure to be sensible and to treat your body the way it deserves to be treated, because otherwise it might end up costing you way more money. So those are the 7 things we should all invest in. These things might not scream for attention, but they will surely improve your life. In the comments, please let me know what's the one thing you've spent money on that turned out to be so worth it. And is there anything that you wish you had invested in earlier? That's it from me today. Thank you so much for being here. Take care and I will see you soon.